I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence because I don't know, but I do know attempting to settle looks like an admission of guilt because I'm not settling.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Busby and this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out there, you should shut the F up. Shannon needs to have some accountability because he gave them something to shake down. He gave them something to target by making poor choices.
When money talks louder than morals, someone's got to light the match. And Charlamagne the God, he didn't just light it, he set the whole house on fire. What he just said about Shannon Sharpe, it's brutal, it's bold, and it changes everything. This isn't just a bad headline. It's the kind of scandal that sticks to your skin and won't wash off. Charlamagne looked straight into the camera and called out the entire game. He didn't dance around it. He didn't play neutral. He dropped a hammer. It don't matter if the court says you're innocent. If you're out here trying to cover things up with cash, that speaks louder than any verdict. And guess what? He's not wrong, because what we're dealing with here isn't just a rumor.
I know one thing. If you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now. Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday.
This is a civil lawsuit stacked with screenshots, recordings, and footage, covering 2 years of what the woman claims was emotional and physical abuse. 2 years. That's not an accident. That's a pattern. And the number attached to that lawsuit, $50 million. Not $5,000, not $500,000, $50 million. Now pause, ask yourself this. If you were completely innocent, would you offer someone a fat settlement just to make them vanish? Because that's exactly what's being whispered behind the scenes.
Because at that point, she said that they were in a they were in an actual relationship. They were in Vegas together. So when that happened, she had already kind of been, in this thing where he's verbally abusive, allegedly, but she thought that they were together.
Quiet payments, secret conversations, and a PR team scrambling behind closed doors while the rest of us are left reading between the lines. Meanwhile, DJ Envy blew the lid off the whole industry response. He said ad agencies are already ghosting Sharpe, commercial deals frozen, campaigns pulled overnight, and it hasn't even been a week. This isn't about justice anymore. This is about brand protection and digital execution. Because once your name hits that blacklist, you're dead to them. Here's the chilling part. In civil court, all it takes is 51% certainty.
He tells her and threatens her allegedly to say that he will her if she ever does that again. But the part of it, she says that she was allegedly anally twice and that it was very, very brutal.
That's barely more than a hunch. That means even if there's a shadow of doubt, a single sketchy message, you can lose everything. And Monica Reyes, the attorney guesting on air, made it plain. 51% is enough. And in the civil world, that can cost you your entire legacy. Let's not forget, civil court is the perfect battleground for cancel culture. There's no innocent until proven guilty in public opinion. It's, you trended on Twitter? Yeah, we believe it. And now, Shannon's staring down 3 nightmare paths. Option 1, pay up. Make it go away quietly.
And she says that she alleges that the was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive. Now this woman is alleging that Shannon Sharpe her multiple times over the course of a 2-year relationship. The relationship that they had was
but that looks like a confession wrapped in hush money. Option 2, lawyer up. Go full-on courtroom battle. But that means every text, every voice memo, every secret gets dragged out in the open. And trust me, the court of public opinion will feast on it. Option 3, try to flip it. File a defamation suit. Claim it's all made up. But even if he wins, his name stays poisoned. Charlamagne isn't guessing. He's watching the fall happen in real time. And he made it clear. The internet writes its own truth long before any courtroom ever gets the chance.
So then I said to him, well, they're also saying in Shannon Sharpe's statement that there's a video that has been altered to make it look like their or whatever is non-consensual when it's actually consensual if you show the full video.
Once your name is linked to abuse, manipulation, or even just scandal, the stain sticks, and it never comes off. And it gets even uglier. Charlamagne went further, called out how Black celebrities, especially Black men, are always the first ones judged and the last ones believed. He said what nobody else wants to admit. There's a different rule book when your skin's a little darker and your name's a little louder. And honestly, he's right. The media plays favorites. The headlines get more violent.
Because it's true. Sit your old down and go find somebody your age and build a family with them. As I said yesterday, men, we need stability and we need discipline.
The assumptions get faster, the tone gets nasty, and suddenly the same allegation becomes a scandal. because of who you are, not what you did. And that's the dangerous part, because while Shannon fights for his career, everyone else is fighting for clicks. Charlamagne called out the whole industry, from radio hosts to YouTubers to bloggers, for throwing gasoline on a fire that isn't even fully lit. He said, if you don't respect the word alleged, you're not a journalist. You're a gossip dealer, and right now, the market is flooded with gossip. So where does that leave us?
I reached out to Attorney Busby and I asked him, first of all, did this happen? Did you guys file this because of that $100 million podcast negotiation conversation? And he said they've been in contact with Shannon Sharpe's counsel since February, long before any announcement.
Caught in the middle of a wildfire where truth is just another piece of kindling, where one accusation becomes a permanent reputation killer and no one waits for proof anymore. Because in this digital age, perception is punishment. One bad headline can undo decades of hard work. One woman's story, backed by screenshots, can take down a titan, and one media moment can erase your future. That's the world we're living in. And for Shannon Sharpe, this might be the beginning of the end. So ask yourself, if this happened to you, could you survive it? Or would you be another name, trending for all the wrong reasons?
Tony Busby said to me, he is a liar. He never even actually saw it. It wasn't even referenced or referred to in the case we filed. But now that his lawyer has breached the mediation agreement that Mr. Sharpe's counsel insisted upon, it should be known that there is indeed a video.
While the truth gets buried under the weight of $50 million, 30-second clips, and public outrage, because this story isn't cooling down. It's just getting started. But Charlamagne's not alone in this. Behind the scenes, the industry is cracking, and the tremors are hitting everyone who ever sat next to Shannon Sharpe. People like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless haven't said much publicly yet, Mike, but their silence? It's loud, because they know the next headline could include their names too. Not because they did something wrong, but because guilt by association is real. That's how fast the internet moves. One wrong tweet, one old interview, one clip out of context.
Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response.
And boom, you're trending for all the wrong reasons. And when Charlamagne blasted Shannon on air, he wasn't just talking about one man. He was talking about an entire system that protects fame over facts until it can't anymore. He basically said, we've built a culture where people get worshipped, then destroyed, and the faster they rise, the harder they fall. And right now, Sharpe is in free fall. Let's talk numbers. Since the allegations dropped, Sharpe's social engagement has tanked. Brand analysts are predicting a 25 to 40% drop in sponsor revenue over the next 2 quarters. Production studios are hesitating. Talk shows are avoiding his name. Some podcasts quietly scrubbed past episodes he guest starred on. This is what it looks like when the industry prepares to bury you while pretending they never knew you. And here's what's most terrifying. The audience loves it. Every update, every leak, every legal document, people are eating it up like popcorn. Why? Because scandal sells better than truth ever could. This is modern entertainment, and it's powered by destruction. You don't need a conviction anymore. You don't even need a courtroom. All it takes is a headline, a hashtag, and a wave of rage. The fall of Shannon Sharpe has become a digital blood sport. And still, Charlamagne wasn't just here for the gossip. He was issuing a wake-up call to celebrities, to fans, to everyone who scrolls, clicks, and comments without knowing the full story. He said, you don't have to be guilty to lose everything. You just have to be believable as the villain. Let that sink in, because this isn't just a Shannon Sharpe problem. It's a culture problem. We made this. We built a world where being first is more important than being right, where emotional outrage trumps due process, where creators chase traffic, not truth, and in the center of it all, a man whose image used to mean strength and discipline, now being picked apart in slow motion, frame by frame, by people who once cheered him on. The irony is painful. Charlamagne even called out fans for being part of the machine. The same people posting "Protect Black Men" are the ones reposting every rumor without fact-checking a single thing, he said. And that cuts deep, because it's true. We can't talk about justice if we're addicted to drama. We can't scream for fairness if we fuel cancel culture for sport. We can't demand the truth while flooding our feeds with speculation. This story, like so many before it, has stopped being about justice. It's become about spectacle, and that's the most dangerous thing of all, because if it turns out Shannon Sharpe is guilty, then justice must be served. But if he's innocent, the damage is still done. The sponsors won't return, the headlines won't be rewritten, the doubt will never fully leave. This is the real cost of going viral in the worst way. And for the record, no one's really safe. That's the warning Charlamagne was trying to shout. The higher you climb, the more people root for you to fall. And when you fall, no one offers a hand. They grab a camera. So whether you love Sharpe or hate him, Whether you believe the allegations or think it's a smear job, the story unfolding right now is a modern morality tale. It's about power. It's about perception. It's about what happens when truth and virality go head-to-head and virality wins. Because we've entered an era where scandal doesn't need evidence, it just needs traction. That's the world Shannon Sharpe woke up to. That's the world Charlamagne is exposing. And that's the world you're part of, whether you know it or not. So maybe the next time we see a name trending for the wrong reason, we pause. Maybe we stop sharing screenshots and start asking questions. Maybe we stop rewarding rage with attention. Or maybe we just keep scrolling until it's your name in the fire. Because if Charlamagne's right, and he usually is, this isn't the end of a story. It's just the beginning.